I have recently been fascinated by this term antifragile. Have you heard this term? Antifragile. So the idea is some things are fragile, like a glass cup. If you knock it over, it's going to break. Some things are rugged. If you drop a metal thermos, the nicks and the dings aren't going to really damage it. So it's rugged. Antifragile is different from both of those things. Something that's antifragile actually gets stronger with adversity. Our immune system is an example of this. You actually need some germs in order to have a strong immune system. Trees are like this. Trees actually get better, stronger if they have some wind blowing on them. So there are a lot of things in life that are anti-fragile in this sense. They actually get better with adversity. Now, Nassim Taleb or Jonathan Haidt have suggested that children are like this, that young people need some challenges in their life in order to get stronger. So it might be an injustice on the playground. It might be an unfair grade at school. But these little frustrations and challenges that we don't like to see our children go through are actually an important part of them learning how to navigate and survive that. And if they do, it'll set them up to be able to thrive as an adult. All this got me to thinking about apologetics. I love helping people defend their Christian faith. Sometimes this involves helping parents as they try to navigate raising young people in the world that we live in today. And sometimes there's this fear and anxiety that people have that they've got to make sure that everything that their child encounters is always Christian, that it's a totally sterile environment, and that's going to be what helps their faith to be strong. But that's really hard to do. And if you're a parent like I am, you know the challenge and sometimes the anxiety that comes with raising children in the world that we live in today. But I wonder if that's not the goal at all. That as a Christian parent wanting to raise a young person to serve the Lord and to follow Christ with their life, we've got to recognize that we don't have to and we can't remove everything from their life that might cause a question, that might cause some challenge or difficulty to their faith. That's not the goal, and maybe that's not even helpful. They live in a world that is secular, that is hostile, that has a lot of things that are maybe going against their worldview. But because Christianity is true, because the truth isn't afraid of a question or a challenge, we don't need to be afraid of that. We need to recognize that as our children grow, if they have questions, if they come to us with things that maybe don't make sense, we need to embrace that. A lot of people struggle at some point with their Christian faith, especially those raised in a Christian home. And if you know somebody that is going through something like that, don't stress and don't be overwhelmed by that. Just recognize that this may be a very natural and healthy part of their process of growing in their faith as a Christian. So I've got a couple suggestions. Number one, if you know somebody like that in your life, make sure they have some good resources. There's a lot of apologetics resources out there. You want to make sure that they've got some good resources in their life. Number two, make sure that you're in a good church, a church that preaches the Bible, that's faithful to the text, a church that has a loving spirit and is going to help you as a parent. Number three, I would say you want to make sure with your children that you keep the relationship open. Have that authentic, genuine relationship. Make sure the dialogue stays open. Walk with them through their doubts. And remember this, that our strongest faith is not in the opposite direction of our doubt. It's on the other side of our doubt. So let's work together to raise an army of young people that have an anti-fragile Christian worldview.